How do we pack for kayaking? We take lots of little things. And here we go. Welcome back to Destinations Chronicles. Today we're going to be talking about packing for a kayaking trip. A lot of people say, how do you carry enough stuff in those little tiny kayaks? Well, there are some tricks. And I'm not going to show you everything. I'm just going to show you some of my favorite things. First of all, a normal sleeping bag. They're what, about this big? Yeah, that's just not going to happen on a kayak trip, really. So, in Kelty, there's other ones that have these, but this is a compression sack. This is a full size when you're sleeping. It's a full size sleeping bag, but it comes down and it actually will compress down to a little bit tighter than this. And yep, that can be shoved way up at the front of your kayak, or if you have a kayak like mine where there's storage behind your seat, you can stick it back there. You always want to have the weight in the middle of your kayak, by the way. So, these things are pretty good. Want to sleep on the cold, hard ground with rocks in your back and stuff? No, even though we're packing light for kayaking, we do want something that will get us up off the ground. This is pretty small, but it's a full blow-up mattress. It has this little valve right here, and it all unrolls out of this nice little bag. And this valve, once you open it up, automatically fills with air. You don't have to be sitting there going. It is a little harder to get the air out, but it takes maybe 5 minutes per bag. So this fits. You've got the sleeping bag at one end, you've got this at the other end. You're doing great. So, a lot of times when we're kayak camping, it's not like when I go regular camping where we're in the van or we're taking the car and we're setting up tents and stuff. Now, we do have a small tent that goes in our kayak, but it's just a regular old small tent. There's no point in showing it to you right now. But when you're setting all that up, yeah, I have a big 2-burner Coleman stove, and I have all the accoutrement that goes with it. But when you're kayak camping, you've got little things like this. Now, this is the whole stove. I prefer these small canisters. When you get the big canisters, they kind of wobble, but you can fit several of these in your backpack. Now let's talk about that backpack. I always have 2 backpacks. One goes in Vince's bags, the other goes in mine. This one has all of these little loops that you can put carabiners on it. I put my metal cups, the enamel ones, and I just hang it from there. But here, this opens up, and there's your burner. And it sits on top of here. And if you have a small one, it's stable. If you get one of those giant green ones, you can do it. I've done it, but it's not as comfortable. So we've got our stove. Now, I happen to love biscuits when I'm camping. But, you gonna take an oven with you? Well, yes, actually, yes, I am. So I've got this. It's 2.5 pounds. It's a GoSun Go. Now, GoSun makes all sorts of really cool solar ovens, but they're bigger. This, 2.5 pounds. Now, it's not that big, but I can fit 10 meatballs in there. Like I get those Aidells pre-made meatballs. I can fit the meatballs in there. But in the morning, what I love to do is I tried to fit 5 biscuits in there one time. It was an explosion. Don't do that. So I've got this, and I can fit 4 biscuits in here. Well, now I've got 2 of these. One goes in Vince's kayak, and one goes in mine. And when my friend Jen goes, she has one. And then we've got 3 of these, and that's a lot of biscuits you can make. And they're good, too. It takes about, if you're cooking in the middle of the day or late afternoon, it takes about 20 minutes to cook things. In the morning, what I do is I'm usually one of the first. My husband and I are the first ones up, and other people in the campground just kind of are doing their own thing. So I get up and I put those biscuits in right away, and in the early morning sun it takes about 40 minutes. But if I get those biscuits on right away, then I take care of getting dressed and all of that stuff, and then I start cooking breakfast. 40 minutes isn't a long time, especially, since I'm not doing anything. It's in the sun. I'm forgetting about it. Just letting it sit there, and boom, we've got biscuits. So we've got that going. Now, I have a couple of other things here. This has my pan. It's a saucepan. And it's also got little sporks and stuff like that. But this, it looks small, and it is, and it fits right on top of here really nicely, okay? It's not like it's going to be all wobbly. It doesn't look like it holds much, but it does. Sorry, there was something on the screen. It does fit as much water as one of my bigger pots on the stove. It goes up instead of out. Now, it comes down like this. There's your handle. There's your lid. But inside, you have bowls. And the nice thing about these bowls is I can store things in there like salt and pepper and spices and stuff, and it's not taking up extra room. There's 2 of them. So we've got that. All right, now this is not very big, and it fits into this backpack, right? I don't take a lot of stuff to cook when I'm kayaking because when you have the big things, you just don't have that kind of space. Here's another one of my favorite things. Now this has my frying pan, okay? It's a decent sized frying pan, but inside, and I didn't purchase it this way, I just went, oh, these fit in here. So I have one of these mesh bags, and inside the mesh bag, I have all of my camping plates and cutlery, okay? So I've got knives, forks, enough for 4 people, knives, forks, I've got a cutting knife, little tongs. Yeah, they're not very big, but they work. And I even have my spatula. Not very big, but they work. So all of these things fit inside here. So when you got all this stuff and it goes down in, that's not taking up any space. And it's cutlery and plates and cooking utensils for 4. Not a big problem. Here we go, right? Now, this, I don't think it's gonna work because it hasn't been in the sun. This, yeah, it is. It holds that. That's a battery. It's solar. That collects solar. I've got that. I have another favorite light. This is one of my favorite lights. Brand new. I haven't even taken it camping yet. It's going on my next trip. This is called Tiki Tunes. See, it's got that. It's an LED. It flickers like a tiki torch. And yeah, if it was just a light, it would be pretty. But it's not just a light. Right here. You Bluetooth it to your You Bluetooth it to your phone, and guess what? It's a sound system, and you can get several of them and link them up together through the Bluetooth. Pretty nifty, and it's really pretty. I like it, but it's small enough that it'll fit in the backpack, and I've got an extra source. Now, my phone. Now, I need my phone when I'm camping. I don't take my Canon M50 with me when I'm kayak camping. If that fell in the water, I would be heartbroken. So I have my phone. But if you're camping for several days, especially if you're camping where there's a lot of granite, it's going to be searching. Now, I always try to turn it on to airplane mode, but sometimes I forget. And I run out of power. This little puppy is a battery pack. I plug it in before I go, and I've got plenty of extra power for my phone. And the nice thing is, this one has lights that tell you when it's full. I had one that didn't tell me when it was full, and then I burned it out. So, yeah, look into which, because everybody has different needs, but look into getting one of these. I got this at the grocery store. I have a lot of collapsible things. I have a collapsible water bucket and a collapsible colander. Now, can I do tons of things in this? No, but what I can do is I have a collapsible bowl, and I can do some of the pasta, pour it out, some of the pasta, pour it out. Is it the most convenient thing in the world? No, but I'm kayak camping. It's small. I also have little collapsible cups like this. Do I really want to take a big old giant Coleman breakable with glass and stuff for lighting? No, not me. All right, so there are these little things. They're called Lucy lights. I have about 8 of them, and 8 of them will compact down into this big. Now, they don't stay like this little tiny cookie shape. They blow up. They've got a little valve here. You blow them up, and they provide plenty of light. They've got different settings, and then like let's say you need to get someone's attention, or you've got a problem. They go red. I set them out in the sun during the day, and there's lights all night long. Speaking of collapsible, this is a brand new toy. All right, that's pretty small and will fit in my backpack. But what is it? It's collapsible. When I've done the dishes, it's a drainer. It's got all these little holes in it. It drains the water out. It's got places to hold your dishes, but it's collapsible. It doesn't take up much space. So we have a lot of collapsible things. We're gonna go out and look at my collapsible barbecue. It's a collapsible barbecue. It doesn't collapse like this, but it folds up like a briefcase. I love that thing. Okay, you wanna see the briefcase barbecue? Here it is. See how flat that is? That fits right in there. Okay, he's not so pretty. He's gotten a lot of use, but he opens up, and I'm gonna show you a picture. Right now, it's flat. It hardly takes up any space in the kayaks. And then, depending on where you're camping, you know, because we don't camp where there's campgrounds. We go out into the woods. Now, you have to check with your forestry service to see if they're allowing fires. Because, you know, early in the season, you know, everything's still moist and stuff from spring. But later on, not that great. So that's when this GoSun becomes invaluable. I have made scrambled eggs in here. I've told you about the biscuits. I've told you about the, well, I didn't tell you about the sausage. It'll fit a couple of sausage in there. It'll fit all the meatballs. I've gotten 3 little thighs. I've taken the bones out and I've cut that extra bunch of fat and skin that's at the end of it so that it'll fit. 3 of them in there. Put some shallots and some white wine in there. Stuck it out in the sun. It took, I think that took maybe 30 minutes, and it was overcast that day. So at the end of the season, you're going to want to find alternative ways for cooking if they're not allowing campfires. We have a bunch of little things that go in a kayak, and I can bake and I can cook, and I still have room in those backpacks for the food and for underwear and an extra couple of shirts or something. That's how we do it. I'm Michelle. Thank you for coming by, and hit that like and subscribe if you want. Bye.